Well, hello, y'all.
Throws his back from his hiatus.
It's time to breathe again. Yes, you're right, Patrick. It's time to breathe again for the latest Bofa Sports webcast streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So, as Patrick said, yes, I am back from the hiatus. Went on a train trip. I'd have to share that a little bit more, maybe later on in the show or in the coming shows.
But to be honest with you, that's irrelevant right now. Aaron, congratulations, dude. We're super pumped for you.
Yes, so Aaron is expecting. It's
coming. He ain't expecting it anymore.
Yeah,
it's coming.
So the sun is coming. And so, yes,
right here.
You are welcome, Aaron. And man, for you to tune in and check this out when you're going through this great moment in your life, man.
You know what only goes through my mind right now?
What's that?
His wife. He's like, watch this. Just watch this.
Yeah.
Get that out of my face. It's funny here. No, super congratulations, Ben. Is this your first?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He said, I won the lottery and that's why she got the ring. I love it. And then she said she's chill as F. So that's what's up. Love it. Yep.
Nice. Congratulations, dude. They're fun. Well, unless they pee on you, then it's not fun. And then all the dirty diapers. Those are not fun. But man, when they turn 5, bro, ooh, fun again.
But man, congratulations, Aaron, and we're glad that we could help keep you entertained as this moment is about to arrive for you, man. So thanks for tuning in, and just thanks for all the love that you have shown us over the last few months. And we are looking forward to the documentary you told us about as well. So,
yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, so
but have a kid first.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. First things first, priorities, absolutely. So while Aaron is waiting, and to the rest of the people, thanks for tuning in.
Hold on. How rude of us. We're rude. And congratulations to your wife too. God,
yeah.
Charles, you're so rude, man.
No.
She's the one that's pushing out the baby, and we're like, congratulations, Aaron.
Yeah.
Let's give you credit, man.
Hey, look, I think it's one of those things where it's just like, look, we understand who's putting in that work. And so
yeah, we know. So shout out to the moms. Shout out to the moms. Yeah, absolutely.
And then he says the script is 24 pages long and narration rough draft comes in at 62 minutes. All right, man. Look, sounding real good, man. We definitely look forward to checking that out, man. Let us know when it drops.
Yeah, let us know when it drops. We got a script for you to write.
Because you know us. We
have a movie. We have a movie. We really need it scripted out. It's going to be funny too.
So with that, look, man, we're in here. We got a treat for Aaron and the rest of the people who are watching, and we are going to save college sports. Well, at least attempt to.
We're going to attempt it, but man,
yeah,
this damsel is in distress.
Yeah,
just man.
College sports is going through a lot. Right now, lots of changes have happened, and it's definitely not what it used to be even 5 years ago, let alone 10, 15, 20, and go on and on. What I think, though, Patrick, and let me know if you agree with this, is I think even though all these changes have happened, there is still a nice pocket, particularly down south, where people are still about those traditions with the team, where there is an understanding of what is happening, and we know money talks. There's billions of dollars put into TV networks and TV deals and the college football playoff and March Madness and basketball, among other tournaments. But there is still a pocket that is still loyal to the teams, and they still love college sports. And I think what probably needs to happen at this point is embrace it as much as we can, because this stuff, it's not changing. It's not going anywhere. NIL is here. Transfer portal is not going anywhere. Money is going to continue to just rise and rise each and every year. So if we can institute that into the love that people have for their teams and the games, the traditions of waking up every Saturday morning and watching College Game Day or whatever you watch to get ready for your games before they actually start. If we can mend all that together, then I think we could continue to go in a positive direction with all this. And that's what we're attempting to do as we try and save college sports, even though we're probably going to need like 8 shows for this, but we can get it.
I mean, we're gonna have to dedicate a show every day to this. Hey, look, you know me. Every Saturday, what do?
You put out the Georgia flag,
shirt, and Georgia flags, and I'm starting a new one. I'm playing the Georgia fight song every morning, as loud as I can play, and then right at the end, go Dogs! Ooh! Every Saturday morning. My voice hurts at the end of the year.
I think I may have to make a trip down there just to see that one of those weekends.
I'm gonna play it loud. I'm gonna wake everybody up because my flags go out at 8:00.
Yep, absolutely, on the dot. Yes,
8:00 on the dot every morning. I mean, dude, I don't even have to have an alarm, dude. 7:50.
And so
we're putting everything up.
And so, Patrick, let's start. Let's see what we can do to help save college sports. So I'll
do my tradition and I'll put it on TikTok this year.
Okay. And so the first thing,
bro, epic.
And so the first thing I actually have a couple of things written down. Normally we don't have lists on this show, but man, this is a big list. So I figured let's go ahead and try to write.
I don't have a list because I didn't know where you were going with this whole save college sports thing, but.
All right, you know what, Patrick? I know most of the time you're just, I'll say, and I should have said this when I sent you the text, just follow me. But
oh yeah, I mean, dude, that goes without saying nowadays. Dude, we've been doing this for 5 years. Come on. I just followed.
But the first thing I have on this list is let's just shut down the NCAA. I just don't know what the point is of the NCAA anymore. I love it. I just don't know what purpose they serve anymore. It's not like they served any purpose anyway, except to make money and more money and build it off of everyone's back. And so now.
And then they made their own rules up as they go. Here, Charles, let's pray together, all right? Dear Jeebus, please cancel the NCAA. Amen.
Is that the name of your God, Jeebus?
Jeebus, please.
Yes, the NCAA needs to go, though. Listen, they have just profited, and they continue to go with this whole thing about student athletes. And we've said many times, Patrick, if they just swap those words.
That's it. Swap them and we're good. Now respect can be had.
Yeah, exactly. The athletic student, because we know the athletic part is what's bringing in all their money. And so now with these other aspects that we're going to get into later, the NCAA, the NIL, and transfer portal. Patrick, what are you doing?
Take off my shoes.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get comfortable.
My bad.
We're fixing to save the NCAA. I'm sorry. We're fixing to save college sports. So I gotta get comfortable for this.
You got to get comfortable. All right, understand.
So you track dirt in this new college football world we're getting into.
And so the NCAA, ever since the rule came down with name, image, and likeness, which was back in 2021, is obsolete now. It is basically, all right, look, players can make money off of this now. There's no keeping money away from the players. And it's more so dealing with the conferences now.
Yeah.
And
90% of all problems came from whatever NIL has eliminated. Jersey sales, autographs. Everything that was being prohibited from doing, NIL now allows you to do it. So here we are 4 years later. Now we're curious, like, what is the NCAA doing right now? Basically, they're holding on for dear life and getting whatever money they can get right now, because we all know super conferences are coming. They've already started. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Big Ten, ACC, and SEC are not already they're super conferences yet. I think super conferences would be 20 plus teams. I think that would probably start labeling the super conferences at that point. And as soon as they go to super conferences, Charles, we all know that's it. Conferences are going to be jurisdicting everything themselves. And SEC is probably going to be one of the first to go right into the super conference.
Yeah, because as it stands right now, the SEC has 16 teams. The Big Ten still hasn't learned how to count, but they have 18 teams. They have Aaron left a comment. Shout out to Kane Coulter for freeing athletes from being extorted. Yes, the players were being extorted. Absolutely, they were. And this was something also. So to your point, Aaron, this is going back. I remember you. So Patrick, do you remember watching the 30 for 30 with the Fab Five from Michigan?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I never watched any of those 30 for 30s.
They're pretty good. Now, like, it's been a while since I checked them out, but they're pretty good because they have one about the Fab Five. They have one going back about you, and so they.
That's the first one I ever saw, like, the commercial for. And I was like, hell no.
It was good, dude.
I was like, hell no, I ain't watching that. I am not contributing to. I'm not contributing to that. I will not watch it.
It was good.
I'll find something else.
Patrick, it's not like you're contributing to it. They're out of your years of relevancy, so you're not contributing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. What, is it 10? 10 years of my is relevant, right?
15. It was 15.
I think we're going to lower that.
You're going to lower, okay.
Just in case 30 for 30 comes out with something I don't like. Just to make sure I got myself covered.
Well, the Fab Five of Michigan was featured on one of these 30 for 30s. And Chris Webber, who, for those who don't remember the players who were on there, it was Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Jawan Howard, Jimmy King, and Ray Jackson. Fab Five freshmen, they went to the NCAA final for the championship game 2 years in a row. The first year, they got knocked out by Duke, the Grant Hill team, and then they got knocked out by North Carolina when Chris Webber called that timeout that they didn't have.
Oh, you know what? I watched the tail end of that when they were interviewing Duke's players and Grant Hill.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. But I'll tell you, that's probably the only one I watched.
Yeah.
I just never really sit down and watched them. You know what I mean? Like, truth, all jokes aside, I just never sat down and watched them.
I hear you. And see, and that's where I'm here to paint the picture. Aaron apparently does not like Juwan Howard. And so,
At all.
Yeah.
I mean, like cats. Like,
sack 'em boppers. So Chris Webber had said at the end of it, I think he was either talking to what was going to be his agent, or maybe it was the person who helped bring him to Michigan. I can't remember which one, but basically what he said was, there's all these students and all these people coming into the jersey store, to the team store that they have on pretty much every campus around the country, and they're buying this jersey. Weber wore that number 4. And of course, you couldn't have the name in the back of the jersey. Remember back then, it was, well, if you have the name in the back, then that's lack of institutional control, and that's impermissible benefits and all that other stuff. But people know which jersey they're buying. They know who wears that jersey.
They know.
Yeah. And so Chris Webber said, man, look, man, all this money is coming in. They're buying my jersey. So, but he could see no money from it. And that's the point that Aaron is making, from the players, the athletes just being extorted, because all this money is coming in. And you mentioned it earlier, Patrick, from jersey sales, ticket sales,
video games.
Yeah.
EA Sports had college football, and dude, come on, we all know when you pick that character.
Yeah.
They don't change the skin color. They don't change the jersey. They don't change anything.
They even have their facial hair.
They had their facial hair at the time. Yeah, and even had their hair look, eye color.
Yeah.
And then what was different? Their jawline went.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dookie look, right? Straight up Dookie look. And so
change their jawline. That's all you change. Well, it's nothing like what they look like. We all know that number. We all know that jersey. We all know that face. Big jawline.
So
no.
So it was only a matter of time before a former player, or maybe it's students themselves, who were going to say, this is BS. It's time to take the NCAA to court, and we need to do something to where we can get a cut of this money that is being made off of us. We're out here, we're playing these sports. People are packing stadiums, packing arenas to see us play, and we can't get a cut of that. Nah, that doesn't make any sense. That just seems morally wrong. And so the NCAA was the one that it looked like we've been saying about the NCAA in terms of this being one of the most corrupt organizations in life. This is why this is why the NCAA just needs to go ahead, just shutter the doors, close it down. And like you said, Patrick, when the super conferences start, because it's coming, and then we're going to see 30 teams in the conferences, because the SEC and the Big Ten, the two big time power players, those other conferences are going to yeah, they're going to.
ACC is going. ACC. I mean, look how many they got now. What, they got 14, 16?
Like 16. Yeah, they got 16.
Okay, so if you got the ACC, the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, come on. Oh, and let's not forget about the Pac-2. Hey, can't forget about the Pac-2.
Patrick, Notre Dame. Remember, Notre Dame plays all their sports in the ACC except for football, so they could keep their contract with NBC. And so,
you know what, dude? I tell you right now, and all of your teams can contribute to anything sports except for football. Join a conference, dude. Stop being a punk. Join a conference. Play some teams.
So that's the first order. Let's just go ahead, get rid of the NCAA, let the conferences, which is already heading that way anyway, let the conferences deal with it. We have this rule. now where schools can talk to players directly about NIL deals. On that note, Patrick, here's the next item. What to do about NIL? Because right now it's still kind of wild, wild west. You have the schools who are going to be, I guess, talking to them directly. I guess the question is, if they are going to do these NIL deals, or you have your contracts, would it be concurrent with the scholarship? Would it be something where we're still going? Because I know we had talked about year-to-year contracts. So
I would be honest with you, I'd do away with athletic scholarships altogether.
Okay.
Just do away with them, because now, if you, I mean, look, be honest. Let's be honest. You want somebody to play, they are 5-star, they ain't paying for school anyway. What's the point? We'll just legalize that by giving them a scholarship. Come on. No, just do away with it and let the student pay for it. I mean, he's not going to be paying for it anyway. We'll pay for your schooling and give you $1 million a year. Okay.
It's probably going to get to the point soon where you're going to see NIL in high school. Literally, a player is going to
I say it is.
You're going to have a player in their sophomore season, and then here comes, say, college. Hey, man, look. We see that you are averaging 5,000 yards per season, and it's your sophomore year. Look, how about this, man? You just leave school early, and we'll go ahead and we'll pay this. Yeah, give you this 3-year NIL deal. And
hey, mommy need a new home.
Yeah.
You need a new home. Yeah, I'm tired of living in the projects. Okay, cool. We'll buy you a house.
Aaron says Wisconsin approved NIL in high school.
I honestly think there's 2 states that actually approved it, to be honest with you, and both of them in the north.
So here and here's another thing too.
And then on top of that, I do have to add this before you go on, Charles. Flag football becoming such a huge ordeal in the Northeast. I mean, look, these sports that are starting to gain a lot of traction. Flag football. You see the NFL is getting involved in that a lot. They're testing them out in high schools in the Northeast region.
They want to do it in the Olympics.
To see, yeah, they're bringing it to the Olympics. But they're wanting to see if it's going to go well so that they can implement more of that in colleges and give scholarships or NIL deals to that. Look at how big Frisbee golf is getting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think these high schools and colleges are not fixing to start hitting NILs on video game streamers?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. It's only a matter of time. And I mean, like, Frisbee golf is getting really big. Cornhole. I remember watching cornhole, like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. The cornhole champions. Man, they had a cameraman doing this. This was like 10, 15 years ago, bro. Literally. Now, they're packing out 14,000 people to watch these 2 people play cornhole now.
It's on ESPN2 pretty religiously.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, ESPN is going to have another one called ESPN the Nueve, because all these sports that are getting big, dude, they're coming. The adult tag. Dude, that is fun to watch. Bro, I'm going to be in all of those things, dude, just to let you know.
Hey, Patrick.
I want to start a banana thing. I want to start a banana thing.
Did you watch the hot dog eating contest?
Oh, I don't watch that. That is not humanly normal. How many did he eat, though? I am curious. How many did he eat?
My man Joey Chestnut just crushing these hot dogs.
Did he beat his own record, which was like, what, 33 or something like that?
Patrick, it's gross. I'm sorry.
Dude.
Yeah. It's gross. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that is disgusting. I cannot watch that. I turned it. I can't watch it. I have never. I watched it the very first time. The very first time I watched it was like I was a kid, After that, I was like, that's disgusting. Like hot dogs. Like, hot dogs are not good anyway. Hot dogs are good 2 times out of the year. First day of summer and 4th of July. That's about it. I can't even eat a hot dog at a baseball game anymore. I'm like, dude, I'm 40. Bro, it's like everything gives me heartburn.
The heartburn, yeah.
I carry a sweat rag, Pepto-Bismol, and ibuprofen with me everywhere I go.
And so Aaron had pointed out with Wisconsin approving NIL.
Dude, I got way off topic.
It's okay. That's all right.
Dude, how did we go from there? Yeah. Oh, dude, it literally was like a nice transition all the way there, and then you just like jumped right back to
we can't go too far off the rails, Patrick. We can go a little bit off, but we got to somewhat stay on the tracks a little bit. Aaron says Chestnut as a rapper be like, don't beef me with me, Frank. Who hangs with B Franks, giving ladies B Franks. Aaron, you were talking about me dropping bars. Like you be dropping some bars too. So,
there's no way I'd be dropping bars anytime soon. I've been listening to country.
It's all right. Hit some high notes. It's all good. Hit them notes with the guitars and everything that they play.
Get them 808s hitting.
Music out there though. But yeah, with the NIL, with Wisconsin making that statement or making that rule, that's the thing with NIL right now. So we say get rid of the NCAA, and we're still on that. Get rid of them. But whoever does come in their place, if it is going to be with the conferences, do they come up with a more, I guess, universal rule? Because right now it's up to the states and how they want to handle NIL. Would it be feasible to have something more universal, something more, I guess, across the board, across the states? I
would say they probably would do like ground rules, level up tier 1 rules, and that has to be applied through the entire conference. And then as long as those rules are hit, then each college can do their own thing based on those rules.
The rules from the conference?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So have conference rules. And I'm not saying, I mean, I guess they wouldn't really lock them down. I'd be like, make rules like, make sure the deal is on a piece of paper.
Something general.
Something very, very general, and then let the colleges go after that.
But at least, and I get it with the generalities of it, but at least, because what you're looking for is some sort of a foundation. There's really no foundation right now with NIL, and maybe it's because the schools and the conferences, they're still trying to get a handle on this and see how this could look going forward, which I can understand that, because I mean, it's jolting when you go from, well, the students were making no money, the athletic students were making no money, to, we can get $5 million on this Aston Martin deal, Queen Ewers.
Or give me 2 Ferraris, 1 burnt orange and 1 white. Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Burnt orange was ice, but
yeah, it was. Xavier Worthy, he had a deal with the Chevys, the Corvettes.
Yeah, I've been telling him, like, you got to include a 10-year maintenance plan.
Yeah, right.
Ferraris, dude, come on. They're like, I ain't paying for that. You got to have a maintenance plan on it. See, that's where kids are like, I got a Ferrari. I'll be like, look, I got a Ferrari, cool, but who's going to be changing my tires? Who's going to change the oil? Who's going to maintenance my car? Like, I need restrictions. Like, can you put it where I can't go over 90?
Yeah.
I'm old and I like to eat while I drive. You know what I'm saying?
Put the governor in there. Yeah, it won't let you. It's got to be street legal. Yeah,
19-year-olds. I'm like, is it like gap insurance on there too? Do I get that too?
What about
there's a lot of negotiations that I need to know about before I just jump into this car and play for this team.
All part of the NIL deal. And so before we get to this one's going to be interesting with the transfer portal, but with the NIL, so you think, and I kind of agree with you here. Once the conferences, especially once they become super conferences, because it's coming, that day is coming. Let them kind of have a foundation for how to deal with NIL contracts, and then that gives them a little bit more of a foundation in terms of
build on that. From the conference standpoint, build on that, but do give the schools the freedom to make their decisions within a constraint that allows them to make that decision.
All right, yeah, I can see that. So I'm keeping this down with our list because again, we're probably going to need multiple shows to fix college sports.
Yeah.
So
all y'all college people, you better be watching because we're gonna fix it for you.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is do what we say.
Yeah,
and you'll be good.
At least consider what we are saying here.
And then anything that you implement, we want 5% off the top. That's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We'll make our own NIL deals. And so the transfer portal. All right. So I've said on a lot of these webcasts, it seems like the transfer portal is year round. I understand there's supposed to be, I guess, 2 cycles, but it just seems like it
stays open.
Yeah, it just seems
dude. All right, look, I told you this is what I said. What?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. 2 months ago, I said even Stargate closes their portal. and college football does not close. That thing stays wide open. I'm surprised we don't have a power shortage. That's probably the reason why California has rolling power outages now.
Because of the transfer portal?
Because the transfer portal is always open. They got to have power for fueling that thing somehow.
There used to be, you could do 1 transfer. So,
yeah, but you also had to sit out a year too.
Yeah, if you redshirted, you would redshirt a year. You did also have your graduate transfers, which was cool. Like if you graduated school, you got your degree after 3 years, you were free to go to whatever school you want. And yeah, and I guess this still, well, in some aspects, it's still kind of like that. But now it just looks like there's a lot of people, they're just collecting helmet stickers and they're in college till 27 years old. And so what can we do about the transfer portal? So do we limit the transfers? And do we go back to what it kind of used to be where you had 1 transfer and then if you decided that you were going to transfer, you did have the red shirt sit out that year and then you could come back and play? Or would you have the 1 transfer but they're free to play? I
eliminate the transfer portal.
You eliminate the portal, okay.
I eliminate the portal, but this is 1-year contracts. You go wherever you want to. You just sign 1-year contracts or you sign 2-year contracts, whatever the case may be. And then it's not a portal, you're just contracted. You're contract labor at this point. There's no point in having a portal if you're able to jump and go and do whatever you want to as you please anyway. So let's just put it as contracts. You sign a 1-year contract and then you have the option to extend. So if you want to extend it to a 2-year, then you extend it to the 2nd year. You want to extend it to the 3rd year, extend it to the 3rd year. But I just say do away with the portal and do 1-year contracts.
Look at Aaron's comment. Until you said the 1-year part. And yes, and so going back to what we were talking about. Actually, no, this was off net. This was off net before we came onto the air. We were talking about Texas and the shorty that I did last week. college football teams are so much turnover with it. It's not like in the pros where you have a pretty set roster, they're contracted out, and then you can make some moves through the draft, through free agency. Those teams are, your foundation's pretty well set in the pros. In college, no. There's a bunch of turnover there. You may get lucky and have people say, we're going to come back for our senior year. We're going to try to make a run for a title, or if not, a repeat or something.
A repeat or a three-peat or whatever, yeah.
But most of the time, there's going to be a lot of turnover there. So I do believe, like with what you said, Patrick, the year-to-year contracts, I do think would sit well here, because if you're not happy with the situation, say you didn't get the playing time you thought you should have, or you feel like your NIL deal has been messed with, you could go somewhere else and you can get playing time there. It's like, love it, Aaron. Yeah, and so I think if you are able, you want to have options. Well, that's the main thing. You want to be able to have a choice whether or not to stay. Now, if you are in that contract, let's say you do that contract and it is for 2 years, and after a year it doesn't work out. Well, then look, you can LeBron James it and just put an option in for the second year,
and then just make sure that you have a no trade clause.
Are colleges going to be trading? They're going to be trading.
Put in a no trade clause and option to renew after 1 year.
Oh boy! All right. Oh goodness. All right. So we'll continue this with the transfer portal, but we do have some other things to get to. Well, before we move on to a few other topics. So the last thing, we're college, because again, we'll come back to the college thing. We'll come back. We'll continue to plaid shirt and ESPN special required to transfer.
Yeah. So, yeah. You have to do that because you got to tell everybody where you're taking your talents to.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring up one more topic, and then we'll come back to this. I mean, especially as college football is about to get started in a month or so. Yeah, we'll come back and continue trying to fix college sports. But the tournaments, Patrick. So, especially the college football playoff, they just did this thing with 12 teams, and now they're changing it up to where they're just going to basically rank them according to where they are in the final rankings, instead of giving the top 4 spots to the conference winners. So are we at a good spot right now? Then they're going to add teams, of course. But do you think we're at a good spot now? 12 teams, or should we go to 8 or go to 18?
Well, I was a huge fan of the 8. Now we got to 12. Okay, so we got to 12. I don't think we should go further than the 12, but I can see them going to 16 so that it evens it out. If they go to 16, then what I would like for them to do is take the top 16 or however they do it and put them in a lottery.
Just let them play.
They draw. They who goes 1? Georgia. Who goes 2? So-and-so. 3? So-and-so. And then they just pull them out and then let them play. At that point, let them play. But I would just do it as a lottery. So, because, let's just say Texas ends up first, right? But they draw the number 7. You're a 7 seed. Move on. And then there's no differential on who you're playing. You don't work for whatever. You just work to be in the top 16. That's it. But personal, I think it should stay at 12. Give the top 4. I still like the conference thing. I really like the fact that they put an emphasis on conference champions. But that's just me being in the SEC, and the SEC championship was just, it meant so much for SEC. Now I think it's really starting to die off and get to the point where it's just about the national championship. And I understand that. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of feel like if that's the case and they're not really going to put an emphasis on conference championships, then just do away with the conference championships. And then go to 16 teams and then put it in as a lottery.
I like the conference championships too, and I think as long as you can use that as a way to keep the automatic bid, let's do that. So if you win your conference, you get your automatic bid in there. That's not saying that you're going to get a top ranking, but
no, you get your automatic bid and you get to play.
There you go.
Totally fine with that.
Yeah,
I wish they would stay that way. But if they don't, then if there's no emphasis on a national or on a conference champion, then there's no point in playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's no emphasis whatsoever, then there's no point in playing it. So don't play it. Put 16 teams in and put them in the lottery and just let them play.
Well, all right. Well, Patrick, hey, this will continue. So we will call this part 1 of trying to save college sports because there's a lot of saving that needs to be done. But I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
I think
as long as they pay attention and do everything we say.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And don't do anything we don't.
And so we'll continue this conversation in the coming shows, of course, leading up to the college football season. Let's move on to the WMMA, as you call it, WNBA. So they had their
Fever and Liberty playing right now.
So they had their All-Star weekend in Indianapolis. It was a little bit of a downer because Caitlin Clark was not part of it. She had injured her groin and had to sit out the All-Star festivities. And she's still out as the Fever are playing the Liberty right now. But one of the things that took place before the All-Star game was the players came out there in some shirts that said, pay us what you owe us. Now, I do believe the players deserve a little bit more than what they are getting. Now, there were times where it looked like the WNBA was going to go out of business, and then the NBA was able to give some backing, and behind that backing, they've been able to pick things back up, and they can sustain a little bit now. And it's just a matter of can they stay on that course. They switch to Ticketmaster, really, Aaron? And so,
you need to switch to something. But okay, so are you done with your part?
Well, I think they can get just a little bit more, just for this reason. If the NBA is backing them up, Patrick, look, the NBA is an $11 billion per year industry. Now, for reference, $1 billion is equal to 1,000 million. 1,000.
I like how you put that into stupid form. Okay.
Yeah. They can get a cut a little bit. Now, on that note,
so how much is 11 billion?
That
1,100,000 million.
That is 11,000 million. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you can give a cut. You can give a few thousand up, man. Like I mean, that's all I'm saying. Just a few thousand. And now that is, of course, like they just have to continue the uptick, the upswing. Aaron's got a hot take. Let's see what he says. Eliminate Eddie called it that, not us. Eliminate luxury tax and enforce salary cap in NBA, and then WNBA has higher floor. This is true. There are a lot of in the NBA. There are a lot of these luxury tax and tier 1, tier 2 brackets. It's a mess in the NBA right now. And this is something that was agreed upon in the collective bargaining agreement. I'm going to get to collective bargaining agreements and these players unions in a moment, because these players unions are garbage.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part of sports, honestly.
They are trash, especially the NFL. But Yeah, I think they could get a little cut. Patrick, $1,000 million.
All right. So here's my take on it. I don't think they deserve any. As a matter of fact, I think they should start paying back. Here's my thing about it. And I see where you're coming from, Charles, but here's the thing. You own a business. Mm-hmm. Okay? If that department is failing, do you just keep throwing money at it to fix it? Or do you trash it, scrap it, and try something different? Now, and I'm asking you this because here's the deal. The WNBA is a failing department. It costs the NBA millions every single year. Now, I get where you're coming from. $11 billion, yeah, that's a lot of money. But here's the problem. As they grow bigger, they're costing more money. They're not bringing any money in. They're costing them more and more and more. So yeah, it starts out at $11 billion, but just last year in the sum of like $45-50 million, that's how much the NBA lost because of the WNBA.
So you're going from
so it's
ROI perspective.
Yeah, you got to give me a return on my investment, or that's a failing department, and I scrap it, and I don't last long with it, because if it's a failing department, I give you 2 years. You better give me something in return, or I scrap that department. You find something else, and that's what the WMMA is right now. Now, you got a couple of them that is really trying to help the whole situation, but at the same time, you still cost me $50 million. I get where you're coming from. $11 billion is a lot of money, but it doesn't change the fact that the WNBA is a failing department. And if you're owning a business, you're going to sit and tell me that you want to give them more money. I disagree with that. I don't think that that's a feasible economical way, because you're eventually going to run out of money because you're trying to support a department that keeps eating your money. That doesn't make sense. So I disagree with you. I don't think they should get anything. As a matter of fact, I see Caitlin Clark makes $77,000 a year off of the WNBA, but she has $6 million coming in from
endorsements,
all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You want the WNBA to succeed? Give the NBA give some of that back to the NBA, so that your department doesn't continue to fail. Well, you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to keep giving your money, but you want them to keep giving theirs. Nah, I'm good. I would have scrapped the WNBA years ago if that was the case. This is my personal opinion. I'd have scrapped it and told them, fend for yourself. I don't need it.
I think they've been kind of doing that. The players, I would say, because they go overseas, and if they're gonna make more money overseas, and they're willing to do that, they have these other leagues unrivaled.
Ice Cube's league is making a killing.
Yeah, the Big Three's doing their thing.
That is making a killing.
And they have the other league. They have two of them. They have Unrivaled, and they have, I think it's Athletics Unlimited or Athletes Unlimited or something like that, when the WNBA is not in session. I guess if the arenas they play in are they're smaller arenas than what I guess you would get in the NBA. And
well, I mean, some of them play in the NBA arenas.
And what you're saying, to your point, they seem to have a tough time even selling out those arenas.
Yeah.
And so, like, if Caitlin Clark, with what she's been doing and the fanfare she has brought, that they're finally getting to the point. Now, this is still pretty Caitlin Clark centric, but they are able to move these games to the NBA arenas because of that fanfare. Yeah. I know, before she got injured, I know they were going to move the game between the Fever and the team here, the Washington Mystics. They're going to move that to the Capital One Arena. I think they moved the game that they were playing with the Connecticut Sun. They moved it up to the TD Garden in Boston. Mm-hmm. And so I guess I'm wondering if, to your point about the return on investment, I'm wondering if that's what they have to rely on to get that fanfare going and to build up the arenas, then yeah, that is a failing product. You are not getting return on investment there. And if it takes Caitlin Clark coming to town to move this game to an NBA arena, or just that one game, that's not really enough to keep sustaining it. And
I mean, if you can sell out that arena, I mean, for that game, I mean, like, that helps. There's a lot of things that would help and that will contribute to the overall growth of what the WNBA is doing. Now, I think they can do it, and you definitely have the characters in place now. You know what I mean? But it's still a hard thing. It's a hard pill to bite, even when at $11 billion. If you're spending $50 million just to keep, and then they're wanting more money, then that means that's more money coming out of my pocket. If I'm the NBA commissioner, that's more money coming out of my pocket. I'm gonna look at that and go, yeah, no.
It's
that's a failing product, and I want to cut my ties now.
It's tough, man, because like I said, because I like watching the WNBA.
I do too. And it's hard, but
yeah, but they are gonna look at it just like pretty much anything else these days. They are gonna look at that from a business perspective, and if you are losing, let's say you're losing $40 million. Like from that return,
I think it was $42 million at the end of last year that the NBA dished out after like that they lost. It was like $42 million last year.
I did see that, and so like if that's what's happening, to where you are losing $42 million after the season, like all these numbers are accumulated, and that includes the playoffs and the WNBA finals. That is an issue. And yeah, like you said, because 1,000 million, but if it is a lot of money, it's a lot of money.
But still, it's 42 million. You know what I mean? That's 42,000. I can't. It's 42,000, Charles. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot of money.
So I think, because I'm wondering, because I like you said, and the disagreement that you have with me saying I think they do deserve a little bit more. I guess the thing that I would have to answer is where does that number? Like,
yeah, what is that? Now I will say this: do I think they deserve more? Yes, I do. But they're going to have to bring more in for me to give them more. I'm not just going to give it to them. Yeah, you like Caitlin Clark says, well, I think I'm worth $100,000. Well, then you damn well better bring me $100,000 or $200,000. You got to bring me the money so that I can give it to you and I can make a profit. That you're in business. What I always tell people is, like, you're never in business to break even. You want to make money.
Yeah.
Caitlin, you want to make $100,000? Fantastic. Bring me 150 and we'll talk.
So see, and so I think, because I think Caitlin Clark is in that unique position to where she could do that.
Oh yeah, she could.
Because she is the one where, look, regardless of what
the other is selling out arenas, period.
Yeah. Like that, regardless of what the WNBA, the rest of the WNBA players may want to say, may want to think, but look, Caitlin Clark is selling out arenas to the point where they got to move to the NBA arenas. So,
and getting close to that too.
Yeah, and so she would be the one who's uniquely qualified, if you even want to call it that, to go to the negotiation table. Like, she would have to be the one to, I guess, fight for that.
Yeah.
Right now, at this point. And yeah, it might be something that's a big burden on a second-year player, because this is Caitlin Clark's second year in the WNBA. But she is the one that people come to see. She is the one who is on all kinds of YouTube videos and everything. And yeah, she's got to win. Yeah, she's got to win a ring. So I'll give Caitlin Clark next year for that. I don't expect her to win any rings this year. I don't think the people enough.
Well, the league. This is where the league gets very unique, right? Mm-hmm. This is where the league gets very unique because now they're going to find out. Oh, well, Caitlin Clark didn't play. Our ticket sales went down. We might want to start taking care of our money train. Mm-hmm. Now, you touch her now, she's going to the line. Period. You know what I mean? And they're not doing that as of right now. They are they're very rough with her. But on top of that, you know, not only does she need to win a ring, but to be honest with you, you got to make it more entertaining. So what's my thought? Over that rim from 10 to 9.
Get them dunking.
And when you do that right there, I promise you, NBA will go, you want more money? There you go. Because think about it. You're running down it, and Caitlin Clark goes, this right here, and what's her name?
Angel Reese.
Well, not Angel Reese. I'm talking about the other girl. Sophie World-Peace.
Sophie World, okay. Sophie,
and she dunks it off of a lob like this. Oh my God, you probably go crazy. Crowd will go crazy. Be like, yeah, I'll pay for that.
After she done choked out somebody.
Right here. She catches that alley-oop from Caitlin, dunks it, grabs somebody and goes like this right here, and it's like,
you choked her out in the octagon, and
then look at the crowd and go, who's next? Oh my, done. You just got MMA, WNBA, NBA, all of it. We're good.
And Aaron asks, is the WNBA ready for more money, more problems? That's the question. That's the question they have to answer right there. Because yes, when that money does start to roll in, how are they going to handle that? Yep. And there's going to be more things that come. Some of it good, some of it bad. They're talking like they are. I think it would just be a matter of time.
I think they're ready. I really do. But you got to make the sport more entertaining. One, and you gotta clean it up. I mean, it's very rough out there, and be honest with you, it's not just against Caitlin Clark. Female basketball is always just so gritty.
It's tough.
You could watch it in high school, and I remember watching that, and those girls fight.
Yeah,
they bite, pull hair, scratch you. I'm like, hey, them girls are walking out with black eyes and sideways noses like this right here, off of the first game of the season.
Patrick, like they played football. Yes.
I know, right? They'll walk off and they would limp. Come back on the next quarter like, I'm like, yeah, but you're shooting 20% and you can barely even do a layup. But you're fighting. You're fighting. So lower that goal to 9 and see what happens.
Meanwhile, LeBron flopped because Lance Stevenson blew air on his eyebrow. You're right about that, Aaron. Yes, it was a flopping game. And you can say the same thing about soccer, too. The women play rough in there. The men are going down like sniper fire hit them.
Yep.
And so, then look, they get the spray.
That magic spray.
That's magic spray. I'm like, wait a minute, this dude had a broken leg. Really? He's healed? What happened?
Remember the Key and Peele skit where he's in heaven? He comes back and scores a goal and wins.
He's taking penalty kicks off his face and just blasting.
That's one of the best skits ever. I'm going back and watching that after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the East West All Stars skit.
Divine shower.
Yes, first name, last name. So
Smith.
So Patrick, before we head on out, man, let's talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Because the second half started on Friday. Of course, we had the All-Star break last week in the ATL. As I look at these standings right now, dude, it's the Milwaukee Brewers who have the best record in the league right now. They're a half game better than the Detroit Tigers. As I'm looking at them right now, I haven't seen any of the scores yet for the evening. But going into today, the Milwaukee Brewers off of their
11-game win streak as of today.
Yeah, and Aaron is representing, and so they swept the Dodgers twice during that streak, and they started off the series in the Pacific Northwest against the Seattle Mariners with a victory, and I think they're about to start playing here shortly in the second game of that set. But yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in the majors right now. Patrick, it is really tight when I look at these top teams, because you have these teams like the Toronto Blue Jays. They've been hot too in the American League East. They have the lead there. We know what the Tigers are doing in the Central. The Houston Astros, they just continue to keep on keeping on in the AL West. And then over in the National League, the Phillies are leading. Is it the Phillies? Yeah, the Phillies are leading that coming in by a half game coming into tonight over the Mets. And then we talked about the Brewers and the Dodgers. They got a lead, but the Padres are right there, 3.5 back. So what are you looking for, Patrick, as we go into this second half, get really into the second half, and then the trade deadline is next Thursday on the 31st? What are we looking for?
I mean, the trade deadline is going to change. I don't know how much it's going to change. I really don't. I mean, you look at Milwaukee. Milwaukee is one of those teams where it's like, do we fix what's not broken? And what is everybody else gonna do? You know what I mean? As it stands right now, Milwaukee has a great starting pitching staff. They got really good relievers, but they're starting to rely on those relievers a lot. So it's and it's not that they're really relying on them because Milwaukee is winning. That's the thing about it. They're winning. But I would say that they need a big bat, and they really need to make sure that their pitchers go a little deeper than 5. You know, give them an extra 3 outs. You know, to help alleviate and get through, because it's a long season. So
the needle mover, like Aaron brought up when they traded for CC Sabathia, and that turned them into a bona fide playoff contender.
Yeah.
They can get somebody like that. And I think this would be the perfect time to do it, just simply because there isn't a team that is separating right now. Now, we know the Dodgers are going to get some people back. They're going to get a lot of pitching back. The Dodgers will get Blake Snell back. They will get Tyler Glasnow back, and they will get maybe their best reliever in Blake Trinan back as well. So they're going to get a lot of people back. But even with that, I don't think anyone's really fearing the Dodgers like that. I think that the teams feel like they have a chance to win this thing. And I think it's open.
And the Dodgers are a good team. Like you said, they're going to get a lot of their pitching back. And when they do, they're going to get better. But I don't really think they're better leaps and bounds above the Padres. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's wide open.
There's nothing that the Dodgers are going to throw out on the field that anybody is going to be scared of, because you got two things. It's like the Dodgers kind of coach themselves out of games a lot of times. And I'll say that respectfully nice, because they do coach themselves out of games.
They do.
But I would say the scariest team, my personal opinion, in all the National League right now is, well, actually there's 2 of them, Philly and Milwaukee. Those are the 2 that are playing. To me, they're playing the best baseball. So if you're going to match those 2 teams, the rest of the squads, they have to go and make a big move. Now, I'm not going to say that Milwaukee doesn't need a big name. I think they do. But I don't think they need to go out and spend a lot of money, because what they have is working. And I do feel like that team could do a lot of noise in the playoffs, pending they make it there. You know, and they're good enough to do that. But I do agree. I think they would need to go and get somebody if they're going to, and just go ahead and solidify it. But I don't think that they need to spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, if you get a trade,
get a good trade that allow them to do it.
Yep. Get a rental, and maybe you decide in the off season if you're going to re-sign them or something like that. But I think this would be the time to make that move because it is wide open. I don't think there's any teams that are out there separating themselves at this point. It's there. The World Series is there for, I think, a lot of teams to take. It's just a matter of which team can continue to separate themselves. And
there is one team out there that is separating themselves from the rest of the group. Colorado Rockies.
And no.
That's the negative.
That's the negative part. I'm not talking about that. You do right.
Separation nonetheless.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
There was something that I was looking at. Oh, the Arizona Diamondbacks. So they're a team to watch simply because they could become sellers. And if they become sellers, they got some people that could make some difference. I was looking at something. There's 4 or 5 players, 2 bats and 2 pitchers, where if someone's able to pick them up, it could help.
Arizona is a very unique team. You know what I mean? Because they're a 500 team right now, and I think they're like 9 or 10 games behind.
Yeah.
But they're in a very unique situation because they're 1 to 2 bats away from making a big run and a pitcher away from making a big run. Or they're 2 bats away from selling and just calling the season a wash. You know what I mean? I mean, literally, they are like, do we try and get 2 bats, or do we sell 2 bats and wait until next year? They're in a very unique situation because they could do that on the pitching staff and they could do that in their lineup, and it's hard to get somebody for just a rental like that. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know which way they're going to go.
I'm laughing because I'm reading through Aaron's comments again, and it just cracks me up. He's like, "How about my GD MF Milwaukee?"
Bet your sweet ass we do.
Oh man. Well, we'll be watching. Trade deadline is next Thursday on the 31st. We'll see what team makes some moves. I think looking at some of these teams like the Blue Jays, they've been playing great ball. I think they need a little bit more pitching though to solidify things.
Yeah, especially if you get those later games with the Yankees and the Red Sox. Those can be very taxing on all their players. So I do feel they need some pitching, both like starting and
Yep, and I think the Tigers probably need a bat too.
They need a bat.
Aaron says nobody will ever party like Milwaukee if we win the World Series. Wisconsin's blood alcohol content will 3 times the legal limit. Look, you might have a point there. Hey, when the Bucks won, I'd seen some.
Hey, I'm just going to say nobody parties better than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, man.
They ripped down goalposts that ain't been tore down in ever, and still got that tore down. Took them 40 minutes, and then they threw it in a river.
Yeah,
and the cops allowed it. Well, the cops allowed you to do that in Milwaukee. I'm just asking.
So, Patrick, before we head on out, what is coming up for Pro Epic?
Well, I listened to you, Charles, and we're going to do it. So we are cutting back on our posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, only posting on Wednesdays. And me and Brantley started a father-son challenge where we take on different sports, do different challenges, and the winner gets to hit the other one in the face with a whipped cream pie. And I won the last one, which was a 3-point contest. And I tore him up. And I slapped him. Right in the face. So we're tied at 1. But we're starting a new series with that where we do that once a week. And then we're trying to get some stuff together. We're still going to do the big shows once a month, but you know, we're gonna cut back, and it's just gonna be a lot of me and Brantley doing a lot of stuff together.
All right, yep, and
look for those posts every Wednesday.
Nice. And for Bofa Sports, hey, had the 2 shorties that came during the weeks that I was out, and those shorties will continue to come through. And look, for those 2 weeks, I was pretty garbage, but we're back on it. So we're gonna finish up the logo, finishing up get this Discord, and yeah, and so yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, so all the stuff that we've been discussing, yeah, it's getting close to that time, especially with the football season's about to start up, and then get those interviews started as well, because we had a mid-August date for those. So things are coming. Be on the lookout, and also for what Patrick has coming in Bro Epic, just be on the lookout, man. We got to be everywhere. Just wait. But with that concludes this edition of the Bofa Sports webcast. That is what we are breathing on for this evening. Y'all make sure y'all visit the Bofa Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Bofa Sports Facebook page. Aaron, congratulations again.
Yeah.
To you and your wife on the birth of your son, and we appreciate you coming on in, checking us out, and oh man, thanks for calling us the best, man. I really appreciate it.
You may be the best, but you're awesome.
Yeah, like we're nothing without you, man, because I mean, you're coming on through, you're watching, and you're interacting with us, and you make the show better. So we appreciate you coming on in, man. Continue to come on in when we do these shows, and we'll be on the lookout for your documentary as well. So thanks a lot, Aaron. For the rest that tuned in, thanks to you as well. And we will be back next week, Tuesday evening at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. So until then, everybody take care and have a great rest of the week. Thanks for tuning in.